Alright, welcome back vaping friends and fellow vapor enthusiasts. I'm back with part 2 of the video on this, which is the Aspire Mini Nautilus Carbon Fiber Variable Voltage Premium Starter Kit. Okay, for those who have seen my other video, I'll include a link. I did a unboxing of this, and that was about a month ago, maybe a little over a month ago. And so I've been enjoying this thoroughly and getting to know the ins and outs of this. And so I have a pretty good idea of how this thing works and what features I like about it and a few minor dislikes I have of it. So let's go ahead and get right into this. I just refilled the juice. This is a Ruthless juice, okay? This is another premium juice. I'm vaping at 6 milligram. And this is Creamsicle, which is like, if you know those popsicles, the orange on the outside and the vanilla on the inside. So this is Creamsicle. I'm not sure what the ratio is of PG to VG. I think I went to their site and they said it was 50-50, but I'm not 100% sure, so you might want to double check that. So that is, I think there's 15 milliliters in there. So a couple of things which I've now discovered upon using this, okay? First thing is, the coil design is really good, okay? It's that bottom vertical coil, which I have some coils over there. I can show you real quick. See, this is the premium starter kit. It came with 5 coils. So the coils are a really unique design. These are the bottom vertical coils, okay? And they work really, really well. As you can see, I've had to replace it. I've had to use 2 plus the one that it came with. So I've gone through 3 in about a month. So that's what you can look forward to in replacing those. Now, a couple unique things about this. One is the tank, okay? It's a 2 milliliter tank. You see, it has markings on it here, which distinguish how much fluid you put in there. So let me see if I can get an angle where you can see those. Yeah, there you go. So you can fill it up to 2 milliliters, okay? It's got the bottom vertical coil design. This comes off, which is something I just recently learned, and sometimes it's good to take it off and just inhale straight from here, especially if you want a more direct flavor. So sometimes I do that as well. This is Pyrex Glass, which is really, really cool. That glass is, if you're not familiar with Pyrex, it's used a lot in chemistry because it's a heat-resistant glass that won't crack or explode or shatter when you're heating it up. So that's a cool design that while it's not 100% necessary, of course, a lot of other ones don't use that. A lot of other e-cigs don't use that Pyrex glass. It is a cool feature, and I believe it's stronger than regular glass, so it is nice to have that. This, I found out, is carbon fiber on the battery. So I stated in my last video that I thought that was real carbon fiber. It is. I double-checked it. It is. It's variable voltage. I believe the minimum is 3.3, and then it goes all the way up to 4.8, so you can see that there. You can adjust it through there. And it goes all the way up to 4.8. And honestly, I vary the voltage. I'm going to start at 4.3, and then we can turn it up from there. So this just screws directly in right there. Very, very easy to use. It's a kit that you can just buy it and set up and go. You don't have to worry about measuring ohms and doing all that, rebuilding coils and stuff like that. It's designed for probably someone like me who used to smoke cigarettes, switched over to an Ego, which was cheap and didn't like the quality, and finally found this, and so far I'm loving it. You know, I might come back in a couple months and have something new and tell you if I still use this or not, but so far it's great. Another cool feature is the revolver air cylinder. You can hear that clicking. This revolves around, and you have 4 different air intake settings on that, so that's cool. I set it to the maximum because I like to get as much thick vapor as I can out of it. And so let's go ahead and take some puffs off of this and tell you a little bit about the flavor of this juice while I'm doing it. Ooh. So this is at 4.3. As you can see, the vapor is much thicker than that little cheap Titan VV luxury lights. There were other e-cig that I did a review on. Vapor's a lot thicker, and that's only at 4.3, so it's not maximum yet. the flavor is also a lot better. It's almost comparable to an RDA, and I have vaped a few times on an RDA, and I find that the comparison is this is pretty close to that. You get that initial hit of flavor, and the vapor. There's two differences between this and RDA in terms of flavor. The flavor wears, so you get that initial hit of flavor, but it doesn't last like with the RDA. The flavor continues as long as you're inhaling. And then the second difference is, of course, the vapor is much thicker on an RDA, which is what they're mostly designed for. But this is easy to use. You can fill this up and carry this around with you all day. So I'll turn it up here in a minute. As for this juice, I like this juice. Actually, this is the second juice I tried from them. The other juice that I tried before this was called Ménage à Trois, which is a raspberry creme brulee cheesecake. And that was really, really good, but unfortunately I ran out and I didn't get to do a review on that. So I tried this. Next time I'll probably get some more of that, and if you guys want, I can do a review of that. As for the flavor on this, starts with a bright citrus flavor. Creamy and slightly tangy. If you've ever had the Yoplait creamsicle yogurt, this tastes more like that than a real creamsicle. But it's still great. It's a good flavor. And I really enjoy vaping. It's really something you can fill in and then just kind of enjoy it through the day. So let's go ahead and crank the voltage up to 4.8 and tell you about some of the other things I've noticed with this, both positive and negative. So I've already covered most of the positive. You get great flavor. You get great vapor production. Here's the 4.8 for you. I'll do another one so you can see it better. I don't know if you can see that well. You know what I'll do is I'll blow it in front of this painting so you can get a contrast. I don't know how well you saw that. I'll continue to vape on it. Basically, the vapor production is really good for a tank, for a cartomizer tank, that is, compared to an RDA. The downside to this versus the regular Nautilus is obviously it's smaller, but on the upside it fits in your pocket, which is cool for me because I just carry it in my my pocket throughout the day, and then if I need to I can just take it out, take some puffs off of it, stick it back in. So it's very handy. The adjustable airflow is cool, but of course I just keep it on maximum, so I don't really have much use for that. Variable voltage is a cool feature too, so you get it up to 4.8, and I think I used the Ohm's law calculator, and it came out to about 5 volts with this the resistance on this coil. I think it was like 1.6 ohms of resistance, and then you crank it up to 4.8 volts. And so the production is really good. The battery life is so-so. You probably will vapor it throughout. You'll probably be able to vape throughout the day, and then at night you'll have to plug it into the charger. And then I just keep that plugged into my laptop, so I can screw that in here through the USB charger. So that's pretty handy. Now, as for the few downsides, there's a couple of downsides. One, of course, being the battery life, which I'm more neutral on. My old one had longer battery life, and of course you can always modify it and get a box battery, or they even offer a bigger version of this battery if you prefer that. So those are some alternatives if you want more power out of this. I did hook it up to a box mod. One of my friends had a, I think it was a Morpheus box mod, and I got a much better production of vapor off of that. The second downside is the coils need to be replaced constantly, and there's a way to rebuild it if you want to go through the trouble, but the coils aren't too expensive, so it's probably better to just purchase them. How's that? Now, the one thing I really Really probably my biggest complaint with this has to do with juice spitting, which, if you're not familiar with it, it's when you get basically a droplet of hot juice jumps out of the coil and lands on your tongue. And it can be really painful and surprising if you're just vaping it casually and it happens and suddenly it feels like your tongue is burning, like you ate something too hot. I noticed this thing has a tendency to spit juice every now and then, and it seems to me just to be a part of the design of the coil, because I've tried different things. I've cleaned this out, I've switched the coil on it, you know, I've tried it with this extension mouthpiece and without it. Here's a hit without the mouthpiece, by the way. You get much thicker, more direct vapor and flavor like that. More of a throat hit as well when you vape it like that. Now, I have been using this since morning, so the battery's not fully charged. I might do another video later to show you the battery fully charged. Other than that, I don't have too many complaints about it. It seems to me like a really solid build. You know, the thing, carbon fiber is well noted for its high strength to weight ratio, so it's really durable, but at the same time a lightweight package. Then the rest is, of course, stainless steel, which is a great material to build a vape out of. Plus this Pyrex Glass. It's a really well put together vaporizer. Great package, you know. Everything about this just screams of design, you know. I mean, just look at the design of this thing. It's sleek, it's sexy, it looks good, it's durable. And I've dropped it a few times, mostly on carpeted floor, but it's held up pretty well. Unlike the cheaper luxury lights, which I would show you, but I threw it away because that thing was a piece of junk. So that's probably a good one for entry level, but when you're ready to get a little more serious and decide to you know, quit smoking and just do this full time, which is what I'm doing now, you're going to want something like this. So overall, I love this freaking thing. I'll give it a really positive marks, and I'm just going to finish the video up with some vapor hits. Taking the biggest rips I can. You really can get some very impressive vapor clouds off of this for being a cartomizer. It's nothing compared to an RDA, but still, you know, if you're kind of starting maybe to think about getting into cloud chasing, you might want to start on this just to see if you like that. The juice is also really good. I give a positive rating to the juice. I prefer the Ménage à Trois flavor, but the quality of these are pretty good as well. Overall, I think the Seduce juice is probably better quality at a better price too. But so far, these juices, these Ruthless juices, are also a welcome addition to my vapor experience. I mean, the flavor off of this is so fresh that I almost feel like some of it's leaking to my mouth, but it actually isn't. It's just a really, really good flavor. I'm not used to that kind of flavor. Alright, so that's my review. I definitely recommend buying this thing. Once again, I'll include the link in case you missed the first video. I did include a link where I bought this thing for, I think it was about $60 total. So I'll include the link to that if you want to purchase it. Once again, I'm not affiliated with that site. I just found a really good deal and I thought I'd share that with you guys. Probably cheaper than what you'll pay at your local brick and mortar store. So if you're interested in this, definitely go out and get it. I give it 2 thumbs up. Thanks for tuning in, guys.